Good evening, ladies and gents. You join me, as always, in my little work area in my room. I've been working on the TARDIS consoles. This is build diary number 2. So let's take a look at what I've done so far. Although it may look like I haven't done very much, believe me, I have. So let's have a look. Now here you are. Now, the console on the left is the one I'm working on at the moment. The console on the right, I haven't done anything to yet. It's just to show you, like, basically a comparison of what I've done so far. So this one. Now I've got the light on my phone here. I'm not sure how good it'll be. As you can see, it might be a bit struggling here, but I'll stick with it. This is the one I've been working on. Most of the day today, I have been sanding all the lined detail left over from the printing off the console panels. Now you may be able to still see some. I've left it in certain areas. For instance, let's have a look. Places like this, for example, I've left it there, or I've left it in little areas like across here. Now I've done that, and again you can see like there. Now I've done that, I think, because once it's painted and everything, I think that'll look quite good. It'll look like they look like little vents, because I've sanded off all the lined area around it and just left it here. They look like little vents. It looks like something that should be there. So I've left that, but let's have a look at the differences. So again, you can see around here it's all smooth. You come over here and you've still got all these lines here. So one that's been sanded, as you can see, no lines there at all. Loads of lines around here. Now, as you can see, I'll get a better view here. There's no lines along the panel edgings around there. And then you come over here and you can quite clearly see the lines still along here and up and down the console panels there and there. You can see them all basically, and you come back over here and there's none. There we go. Again, I've left it on the screens because I just think it just looks better on the whole, I think. And obviously getting into little areas like right in there is impossible. You know, there's no tool I have that can get into there. Also here, this is a good example. This here, on the console, it's a panel which has a light behind it on the actual prop, which lights up. Now on here, because I've sanded off the lines around and just left it on this little panel here like that. It kind of looks, once that's painted, it kind of looks like it should be there. It should be like that. There's another panel there. I apologise for the blurring of a camera. I'm obviously trying to go in close so you can see some of the things I've done, but my camera's having difficulty adjusting. So there we go. The actual panels themselves, it's all sanded, it's all smooth. I will do the same to this one, so you can also see it's taken the shine off it as well. This one has the shine on it because it's all still lined and unsanded. What else have I done? Well, I've actually applied some primer to the base and sanded it. So what you see around here, I'll explain. I noticed today that on the base, some of the printing has been missing. Now I got back to Steve with this, and he got in touch with the printer, and the printer has said that it's nothing to do with him. It's the and the machine hasn't missed out anything. It's the actual file. At the end of the day, it's on the bottom. You're not going to see it too much. The only thing you are going to see a lot of is the base, the stand itself. Now, as you can see, it's still got some lines there, but this is just the first pass. But it's looking very smooth. I will show you the other base, which I haven't done yet, as a comparison. that's handy. It stands up like that. I think it's a few lines there, but down here it's absolutely spot on smooth. Again, spot on smooth. Needs some work, but that's coming along great. I'm going to leave these areas here with lines because frankly it just takes far too long to do all that. And to be honest, again, it's on the base. It is a toy. It'll be fine. Especially when it's all painted and everything, it'll look great. To be honest with you, can't see that once it's all, there we go. Once that's all together, you're not looking at that. You're looking at the, as long as the base is great, and it is, that's going to look really, really nice. As I said, I'll show it the bases for comparison, sanded and primed versus unsanded and unprimed. So let's just lie these like that. Let's see if my camera decides to play. So here we are. This first passing of sanding and priming. A few lines, but nothing to worry about. And that's how it looks when it's not sanded and not primed. So as you can see there's loads of lines. Very shiny. So it's just a case of sanding and sanding and sanding until you get to a point where you're happy with it. I'm still not 100% happy with this yet. It's going to be a bit more sanding, smoothing it off, more primer, and you generally just build it up as you go. Use various grades of sandpaper. Here's my sanding blocks and sanding sponges there, as you can see. So you start off rough and then you work your way down to smoother and smoother and smoother until you get like for instance there. So there we go. Next stage, I don't want to paint the console top just yet because I want to go over it again, make sure I've sanded all the pieces I want to sand before I put a coat of primer on it to see what else I need to do. And then I can start putting little bits of filler here and there, just in case there's some bits that just are very stubborn. So you just squirt on some filler and put it on, sand it in a bit, and then go back over with some more primer. You need the primer really. I'll turn the camera around so I can explain with this. You need the primer really to see what you're doing. So what do I mean by that? Well, you're looking at this console now and it's just glaring white. You can't see what it is you need to do. So when you put a coat of primer on, you can see a lot better where you need to work because the paint goes into the recesses of the details. So as you can see there, for example, you can see a lot more of the details that need working on compared to something that's just glaringly white like that. It's hard to see. So when you put when I put the primer on this, although I might be happy with it now, there'll be actually areas that need working on. I'm really pleased so far. Again, like I said, I'll put a coat of primer on that, move on to the next stage. So if there's any questions or you'd like to ask me, just drop them in the comments below and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Because I know this file is actually online. You can download it and you can have it printed yourself and you can work on it. So if you want to ask me anything about the process of doing what I'm doing or any tips or anything, just ask. So that being said, join me for part 3 tomorrow, and where I'm up to with the consoles at that point. Night, guys.